Hey Fiber Arts, welcome to our lesson called String Stitch Dots. This lesson is really all about stringing yarn through cardboard in a circular pattern. So I want to just give you guys a heads up. We will be using the material that I set out kind of a long time ago in August when we first started school. And some of you guys already picked up your supplies, so that included a Ziploc bag with a needle, with some yarn, and with 2 cardboard squares. So if you are listening to this right now and you do not have those supplies, they are actually sitting at the school for you right now. So if you don't have it, I would say try to swing by the school as soon as you can so that you can get those supplies. If you need any help with that, just message me and we can talk. All right, now that we're through that, our guiding question is, what is a radiating design? Radiating like the sun rays, how the sun rays go out from a center point. So in all of our designs that we'll use, we'll be starting at a center point and be going out to somewhere. So right here, this is one example of a string stitch dot. This is actually called the radiating design one. And all of the yarn goes to the next dot around and around and around. And then I switched over here and used a different contrasting color. And it's actually similar to my hand. If I look at my hand, it kind of starts here, then all of my fingers radiate out from a center. All right, before we can actually do the real deal thing with the yarn on the cardboard, we're going to spend some time practicing just drawing out some designs, some possible designs that you might want to use. So in your Nearpod, I've uploaded pictures of examples with each of the 3 designs, and I've also uploaded these pictures for you to practice on, including this one if you want to get just some extra practice. So for you to practice, you can either print this out from your home, and 2, if you do not have a printer and you aren't able to do that, no worries, you can still practice. You'll just have to draw your own circles. So you could do it the easy way. You could literally get a piece of computer paper and put it up on your computer, trace the circles that you see in the Nearpod slides, or you can hand draw it, and it's super easy because you just need a pencil and something to trace with. This tape works really well, but you could also use like the bottom of a tin can or a glass cup just to get a circle on your paper. Remember, we are just practicing right here, so we're going to be practicing designs, kind of like you see in this page right here. So I'm just going to draw 3 circles, and in each of these circles, whether we draw them big or small, on this practice paper and when we start our final, we always have 16 holes or 16 dots. And I'm going to show you a way to make 16 equal dots around this circle without using a ruler or without tracing. All right, so we want to make 16 dots. So I start at the top of my circle and I make 1 dot. I'm going to make it bold so I know where it is. I go down, make 1 dot on the bottom. So what I'll do as I'm making these is I'm making 1 dot one place and I'm skipping to the opposite side and making another dot. So I did top to bottom, and now I do left to right. So I'm just eyeing about the middle of the circle on the left, skip over, opposite side, do the right. All right, now it's kind of like a cross. Right in the middle of these 2 dots is about right here. Right in the middle of these 2 dots is about right here. These 2, here. These 2, here. All right, I've already got some dots, but this is not yet 16. Now, once your circle looks like this, take your pencil and draw one dot in the middle of each of the dots you already have. And just like that, it's pretty easy to just space out some dots just by using your own eyes. If you want to double check, put your finger on one, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I got it, so I am good. All right, now I can practice starting with radiating lines. And I want you to practice each of these that are on this page first. Once you've done those, then you can kind of do your own design and you can be more freestyle with it. But for this, we're going to follow the directions so we can kind of know our options. So this is where I might need a straight edge like a ruler. You can even just use the edge of some paper for it too. And I'm going to start with a bold color. Let's start with red. So this is radiating design or radiating line. And basically with this one, all your lines start at one point. They go to the next one, and then they come back to that point. They go to the next one, go to the next one, kind of until they've all gone around. And then you can do it in a different color. So let's do this one together. I'm going to take my ruler and put the edge on this dot and bring it to the first dot. That's one little line. Starting at the same point, I'm now putting my ruler to the next dot. Same point, next dot, same point, next dot, same point, next dot. And you can kind of see it's starting to kind of rotate around. I'm always starting at the same point for this design. When you're using a ruler, it's best to put it just to the left of where you want your pencil to go so you have a little bit of room for your pencil tip. Now I'm kind of coming to the right, still starting at that same dot. And there we go. It kind of reminds me of a seashell. So maybe I want to pick a contrasting color like teal. And I want this one to be starting over here. This one starts at the top, but with this one, I'm going to start with this dot. Oops, that was a little bit off. That's okay, we're just practicing. Take your time with this and have fun. Starting at that same point the entire way around. The closer the dots are to you, the shorter your lines are. The farther the dots are away from you, the longer your lines are, the longer you have to travel. And this is the radiating line example. You could even choose another color and start at another point and do the same exact thing, but I like the way two colors look right here. All right, that's radiating line. I'm going to go ahead and just switch over to this practice sheet since I already had it printed out to practice my rotating squares. And this is kind of what it looks like. To make the rotating squares, you start at a point, any point wherever you want it, and you count 1, 2, 3. You want 3 dots in between your next point of connection. And here's what I mean. I put my ruler up 3, 1, 2, 3, and put it on this one so that I kind of get like a straight line. It might be confusing at first, but you'll get the hang of it. All right, I make sure I have 3 in the middle, 1, 2, 3, and then I put my ruler from this point now to this point. So you always have 3 dots in between each of your connections. 1, 2, 3, so it's right here. And it's easy to tell where that last line should go because it's just the missing line of the square. All right, then you pick a different color. And I like to start just the one right up, the dot right up. 1, 2, 3. This is 3 in between. 1, 2, 3. And you can kind of tell that we're going 1 over each time. And that square. And now you can kind of see where the name comes from. Rotating squares. It's if the squares are just moving along. Let's go 1 more up. 1, 2, 3. Always just kind of double check if you're like not sure if something looks right. Just make sure you counted right and that you're drawing it right. This isn't random, it actually has a pattern to it. So you want to take your time and not just draw random lines. All right, I really like that way that looks. You could even do the last one and so it looks like this. This is actually rotating lines and it almost creates a circle. I'm sorry, rotating squares, and it makes a circle in the middle, ironically. All right, let's practice our last one, which is called spectrum. And spectrum is pretty similar to radiating lines, except you don't go the entire way around. You kind of just go just a few dots up, and then you stop. So let's practice that one. I'm just going to use black and start right here. I go to the closest dot, go to the next closest dot. Again, very similar to radiating lines, except I'm just only going to go up about 6. So I've already gone 1, 2, 3, 4 dots up. Let's do our 5th, 6. All right, now I'm going to change colors. And this time, I can go 1 over, or I can start somewhere else. I'm going to go 1 over. And I just really love this because it's honestly pretty mesmerizing. It looks like those really bright lights, I don't know. Okay. And it's pretty cool because every single one of these lines that I'm drawing are stick straight. There is no curve in them because I'm using a ruler. And yet, when they're all together, they actually start to look like they have a curve. And it just kind of comes from the pattern and it being in a circle. So that is the spectrum one. And actually, I think that looks pretty cool. All right, so guys, that is radiating lines, rotating squares, and spectrum. Here's radiating line. So once you have practiced all 3 of those, you can again come back to your practice sheet and make freestyle ones, meaning you can kind of change up the colors that you want to use, or you can change up where you start the circle and kind of how you interpret each of these options. So let me just show you an example. This right here is a real life yarn example of which one is it? I think this one is the spectrum, but I kind of I started at more than just 3 dots. So it actually looks a lot more different than just this one. So you can kind of see that you can kind of go pretty far with it, or you can keep it pretty minimal, and that just comes down to your own choice. All right, Fiber Arts, so that's as far as we are with the practice. You're gonna do this first before you even touch your yarn and your cardboard. So good luck with that, and message me if you need any help with this part.